Hello everyone, hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to work on the last two quests for Tataru's Grand Endeavor. Last time I believe we worked on the quest that related to the Shadow of Warlit and the weapons. Yeah, the Ruby, Emerald, and Diamond and all of them. And we got a nice picture with Gaius and his children, his adopted children, obviously. But let's not dilly-dally anymore. This one, we should finish up the last quest line, or the last plot thread that we've been building on this whole time, where we were working on restoring a necklace for Tataru. Let's not dilly-dally anymore, and let's go talk to Mehdjina, and get started. Treasured bonds. Mehdjina seems eager to share something with you. Brilliant! I have wonderful news. Thanks to your tireless deliveries, we are overwhelmed with orders. Mistress Tataru's plan was a success. Of course it was, she's Tataru. If we didn't have Tataru, we wouldn't have the Scions. That's another shipment sent. I don't think I've ever packed so many parcels in my life. Who dis? I recognize him, but I don't know where he's from. Oh, he was probably in the... Yeah, I believe he was one of the people we saved in Garlemald when we returned there. Same with Mehdjina. Ah, my apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hazdad. Okay, yeah, it's Hazdad. Like many Hunnish refugees, I left my home in Palakistan and came to Sharlayan during the final days. You saved my life more than once. I've been working at Taru's boutique with Mehdjina and Varsarud, albeit behind the scenes. It's rare that I have an occasion to visit the storefront. An unfortunate side effect of the constant demand on all our staff, though I think we would all agree that the hustle and bustle is for the best. But don't you wonder what we'll do once samples have served their purpose? Our equipment is crafted to last, which is wonderful, of course, but also means that our customers are not like to require replacements for some time. Therefore, if we do not constantly receive new customers, our good fortune will eventually sour, no? And that's why you have planned obsolescence. Mistress Tataru isn't so foolish as to have not anticipated such things. I'm sure she's already come up with new and exciting products to offer our existing clients. Actually, I had an idea of my own. For a new product, I mean. Tataru's an Omnicrafter, she can just make whatever we need. In fact, I presented it to Mistress Tataru just the other day. A new uniform to outfit the academics and researchers of Sharlayan. Don't they already have their nerdy coats and glasses? What else do they need? Oh ho! How enterprising! And what did she say? Well, she seemed hesitant, which I could only interpret as reluctance to hurt my feelings with explicit rejection. But then she told me to look into it further and draft a formal proposal for review. That's not a bad way to shoot them down, because then it'll have the person actually go through and try and come up with a full plan, and then maybe they'll actually realize that the plan isn't as good as they thought it was when they initially thought of it. That's wonderful, Mehdjina. When she says to look into it further, did she mean for you to conduct some manner of market survey of the academics and researchers? Just so, but, well, some are involved in such sensitive work that simply approaching them is out of the question, which is to say, my petition to enter Labyrinthos was denied. Well, I happen to have access to Labyrinthos. Instead, I decided to try the studium. A secretarial mammoth was only too happy to schedule a meeting with an academic representative. But now that it's come down to it, I'm feeling ill with nerves. If it were on Mr. Tataru's behalf, it would be different. But this was my initiative. My idea. I'd offer you to accompany you, but I have to mind the counter. Excuses. Perhaps you could offer Mehdjina your support. I could also go to Labyrinthos and do it for you. Oh, thank you. Can I come as well? I'd like to start thinking of what supplies we'll need for our artisans once the plan is approved. Of course. Very well, then, to the studium we go. Alright, looks like we're going to be heading to the studium and seeing what they need, or want. So let's head on over there. We'll go ahead and take the Aetherite over to... Yeah, the studium has an Aetherite in front of it. I was thinking of the Numenon, which doesn't, and you have to run from the studium Aetherite. Yeah, you have to run over here. Let's see, where are they? Oh, they're over in the left area. I still need to finish up these quests. Or the, I forget what they call them, the studium delivery quests. Oh, they're not actually in the room. There they are. In Thavnair, a man of science is almost certainly a practitioner of the alchemical arts, but these scholars pursue all manner of disciplines, some less practical than others, from what I've seen. Well, isn't that the truth? This building might well be a temple for how austere it feels. I'm glad I have your company. I was told a Ki Aliapo would be meeting us here. I'm sure they will be along shortly. Oh yeah, she's in the other room. She's the one that introduces you to the studium delivery quests, if I recall correctly. Yeah, there she is. Hello, representatives from Taru's boutique, I presume. Oh, brilliant! What a pleasant surprise. Though, I suppose your presence should merit no shock at all, given the breadth of your generosity. But pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Mehdjina, and I'm ever so obliged to you for making the time to speak with us. Ki Aliapo, at your service. No need to stand on ceremony, I assure you. Most of our academics are far more concerned with their research than pleasantries, admittedly to their detriment at times. Anyway, how may I help you this morning? Morning? Wonder if that changes depending on what time of day you start the cutscene. The uniform for our academics and researchers, you say. Don't they already have uniforms? I myself am ill-equipped to offer an authoritative opinion on the matter, so permit me to arrange some meetings with faculty representatives. Please make yourselves comfortable in the auditorium while I go and summon a few of our more personable personnel. Yeah, I didn't think she'd have the authority on uniforms. Because isn't she working with procuring stuff for, like, the lessons and stuff, like materials? Don't see too many old Lalas. Rather with old skin, or face. Well, in the Faculty of Archaeology, we spend much of our time... Trisping, I don't know what this is supposed to be, about ancient ruins, which often ends up ruining our clothes, if you'll pardon the pun. An outfit durable enough to handle extended use would be welcome, but it would need to be lightweight and breathable as well. Equatorial deserts can be most taxing, but then again, you'd be surprised just how many relics are hidden at the bottom of lakes, and northern waters can get quite chilly. As it stands, my colleagues and I throw on any old thing for our fieldwork, whatever we have on hand and is suitable for the conditions, with the understanding it may need to be disposed of afterwards. Funding for research equipment and the like is precious enough as it is, and we can't afford to have dozens of bespoke garments for every situation, which is probably not what you were hoping to hear, I realize. No, thank you for your candor. It's true. New kit can be rather expensive. We must ensure our prices stay affordable. Oh yeah, this guy. He was one of the, he's one of the ones that we helped in the studium deliveries. I think he was astronomy? Yeah, I think that's right. The ideal outfit, oh, obviously it is astronomers, of course. The ideal outfit for astronomers? Wait, Jerome mentioned something about fashion recently. When we were stargazing, what was it? Tis not the clothes that make the man, Jude, but the man that makes the clothes. Yes, very lovely and poetic, but I have the foggiest idea what it means. Right, in his storyline, Jude was the nerd who, like, wanted to do archaeology and stuff, and he was, like, reclusive, and then his friend Jerome tried to work really hard to make him be more, what's the right word? Personable? Like, have actually, like, go out and talk to people and make friends, and not just hole up looking at stars all the time, even though Jerome was just as passionate as Jude when it came to dealing with the stars and astronomy stuff. Well, I suppose we astronomers often conduct our celestial observations from locales remote and subsequently chilly. You know, mountaintops and the like. So, something warm? If warm is truly the only requirement, I think it's safe to say this is the opposite of an untapped market niche. Yeah, yeah. Warm is too general. Yeah, these are all the ones that are part of the studium deliveries. I don't remember if I've done hers or not. The Faculty of Medicine has strict requirements for dress on account of hygiene regulations. Fabrics that are resistant to stains and possess antibacterial properties are a must, for example. Additionally, we students of nutritional sciences must vigorously dart about the kitchen, so dressing for comfort is nearly as essential as cleanliness. And if I were fashionable enough to perhaps inspire others to follow in our footsteps, all the better. That might be useful. We might be able to tap on that. Yeah, and she was, her storyline was a little weird, where she ended up falling for the teacher, and, like, he's a male aura. Yeah, it's a little weird, but, like, both of them end up turning out to like each other like crazy, and it's cute, but it's also, like, he's a male aura and she's a hearer. So, yeah, that's a little weird. Anyway. We require no such clothing in the Faculty of Anthropology, where we make all that we require right here. Rather, Professor Tankin prefers to do so, that he may better understand how necessity begets innovation. I can't say I completely agree with the logic, though I suppose I've grown to appreciate his sense of aesthetics, now that the professor and I but that's a little bearing on your project. I wonder if that changes depending on if you finish the storyline or not. Because obviously in the storyline they end up, I think she proposes to him, or he proposes to her, I forget. One of them proposes to each other and they end up getting engaged at the end. So this, yeah, now that the professor and I are, yeah, I think that should change during the cutscene. I'll check it I'll check it when I edit this together. Kind of wish I had finished all the facets before I did this, but whatever. Or all the studium deliveries. An outfit and immoralities. That's... I know what this is supposed to mean, but I don't know how to pronounce that word. He wants to basically get rid of aether sickness. Without a doubt. You'd think we Faculty of Aetherology would have developed such an outfit by now, no? But alas, our primary projects demand every moment we possess. We cannot afford to divide our resources. I don't think we can help with that. Nope, we got one more. Oh yeah, okay, no, that was the last one. Well, how did it go? I don't know, to be honest. Everyone has such different preferences that I'm not sure if it's even possible to satisfy them all. Are you trying to satisfy them all? It sounded like you had at least one potential customer. A fair concern. The studio's faculties are filled with opinionated individuals, each with their own peculiarity. I think that actually might be correct. Additionally, our academics spend much of their time engaged in fieldwork as opposed to seminars, which further complicates stipulations of dress. In other words, we have our work cut out for us. Academics sound just as unique as adventurers, no? They're all just a bunch of nerds, you know. Indeed, it was naive to assume that one type of uniform could account for the needs of all academics. Well, we had best return to the boutique. Thank you for your assistance, Mrs. Aliapo. I mean, I think we have something we can use from that, but I don't think we're gonna get the generic uniform that they were looking for. Well, obviously they're not. They just said that they probably couldn't. And I truly thought I had a good idea. You did. No doubt, Mr. Tataru knew its folly, but had me research it regardless, which is what I said at the beginning about having her go and telling her to go and investigate it on her own. That way it wouldn't be like, wouldn't just be shooting it down and be like, and have your boss shoot down. It's like when the boss shoots down all of your ideas and you think he's not giving you a fair chance. And then it's like, well, you can go and do your own research, but I don't think you're going to get very far with it. And that's exactly what Tataru did with her here. So that I might reach the conclusion on my own. She meant well, I'm sure. See how the hardships make you strong. I believe I've heard that expression before, but where? That's an important phrase to you, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've heard that before. Perhaps in Thavner, it comes from the teachings bestowed upon us by the old gods. Many of us took comfort in the words during the final days. After we fled Palakistan, you may have heard it spoken then. Probably. I don't remember the cutscene. I guess it's just gonna show it, isn't it? Yeah, with her. When we call upon the divinities, it is not to beg for salvation, but for guidance. So long as we live by their teachings, there is no hardships we cannot overcome. This is the core tenet of Hannish faith that has seen us through much adversity since the founding of our nation. It is as you say, Hasdad. Yet, until you did, it did not occur to me to consider how they might apply to my personal struggle. Coming to Charlian and working with Mr. Tataru at the boutique, I've met so many people from all sorts of cultures, but in trying so hard to accommodate their wants and needs, I fear my own heritage has become an afterthought. There is no shame in dedicating yourself to your work, and as we all have our limits, compromise and sacrifice are inevitable. It may surprise you, but once I aspired to become a steward. To look back on it now, it feels fanciful. Strange that we so easily let our dreams be cast aside by circumstance. I swore nothing would stand between me and my chosen path, and yet, here I am. I know the divinities will guide us wheresoever we go, but what if they stray too far? Would I be a fool to suggest that perhaps we should return to Thavner? No, not really, actually. That's actually not a bad idea. But Mr. Tataru has done so much for us. Could it simply leave the boutique on a moment's notice? Maybe not, but over our family and friends. It is one thing for us to send money and well wishes, but I wonder if we could not do more if we are there, helping to rebuild. We haven't been back to the village since the final days, and if we're already forgetting our old lives, I don't know. I just think Mr. Tataru should know how we feel is all. Interesting, okay. Didn't expect that. Oh, okay, so tell me, report me right here. Talking to Mehdjina, then his dad. I suppose I have been dedicating myself to work, but is this who I wanted to become? A Honish who has forgotten her culture? Varusud says Mr. Tataru should be stopping by soon. When I asked how she felt about returning to Thavnair, she said she needed time to consider. For my part, at least, I think consulting Mr. Tataru will help put my mind at ease. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, the thing is, Tataru's like a reasonable boss, so like, actually talking to her would be helpful. My, what a busy counter we have this morning. Asdod, it's good to see you out from behind your usual shipping crates. Yes, I thought I'd come help Mehdjina with her research. We've just returned from interviewing academics at the studium. About that, Mr. Tataru. So, like, I don't think there's a good market here. Suffice it to say, the requirements were all radically different. I know I set a uniform for researchers and academics, but I'm afraid I may have deeply overestimated the feasibility of such a project. I mean, that's called a learning opportunity. And that's perfectly alright. The important thing is learn from what you discover so you can retain and apply that knowledge as you continue your entrepreneurial journey. I mean, yeah, it's called learning from your mistakes. The right idea for a new product will find us when it's ready. In the meantime, I have more samples in need of delivery, and seeing as Brilliant is very conveniently standing within my line of sight, better pan over. Oh no, it's not gonna pan over. A thousand pardons, Mr. Tataru, but before you continue, I wish to speak with you about a personal matter. You have shown us incredible charity, which makes this all the more difficult to ask, but I wonder if I should return home to Thavnair. Please do not mistake this as dissatisfaction with our arrangement. If anything, I've grown so accustomed to life in Charlian that I fear I've begun to forget myself, my dreams, my faith, the person I used to be before I came here. Not only that, in spite of my regular remittances, I worry that our village struggles to rebuild after the final days. While I live happily removed from a burden I ought to share more. It feels disingenuous to both my home and the many kindnesses you continue to show us. I see. And do you both feel the same? I've been so devoted to my work that I haven't given much thought to returning until Hasdad mentioned it, but to claim that I am not worried about the village would be a lie. While I am of similar mind to Mehdjina, I must nevertheless remain here. Among other reasons, there's a project I am resolved to complete right with the necklace. That guy's still on the ground, on his knees there. Well, I would be very sorry to see any of you go, but if remaining here causes you grief, I'll spare no effort to see you safely home. Which is why I've decided that our next set of samples shall be delivered to Palika's stand. That's a twist. Furthermore, I ask that those who wish to visit accompany Brilliant on her errand. Seeing how your village fares is no doubt the best thing for you both right now. It will help you understand your feelings, after which we may proceed however you desire. And should your colleagues require it, I'm sure you can be relied upon to dispense the perfect advice. Yeah. Sure. Mehdjina, Hasdan. Give everyone my regards. Then it's settled. I'll begin preparing the samples at once. Allow me to assist. No matter what happens, we must finish Mr. Tataru's necklace. Are we ready to proceed with the restoration, do you think? I dare say we have enough additional materials, thanks to Brilliant's dedication, of course. As for the work itself, I thought we could entrust it to the lapidary mistress but Tataru once apprenticed with. Huh. Is this gonna be the Goldsmith Guild person? I'm sure that will mean a lot to Taru. I was sort of hoping that I could do it. I wonder if this option appears if you don't have goldsmithing high enough. Let me see what this gives me. Ever so eager to contribute. Fear not. I have an especially important job for you later, if you'll pardon the mystery now. Let's leave the necklace to Varsuit's capable hands and join Hasdad in Scholar's Harbor. Yeah, for some reason, like for a second I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just have to do it myself. Then I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't a crafting quest. Anyway, let's go ahead and head on down to Scholar's Harbor. So it's, okay, it's a little bit over past the 8th, right? Just a short jog over. Alright, you two. You two ready to go? I never imagined we'd get the opportunity to return so quickly. I hope everyone is doing well. Well, considering I've, like, helped them a lot, I think they're doing just fine. I remember when we first set foot upon these docks. After a long, exhausting journey from the frozen wastes, after surviving those horrid beasts, Mr. Tataru was a warm beacon of light. Bacon. I mean, what? Working at the boutique has helped us to rebuild our lives, but I will never forget that feeling of powerlessness. Should I have stayed in Palakistan and tried to defend my people? Was I coward to flee? Is it betrayal to my home and to myself to remain here? I can't stop thinking in circles. Anyway, I'm glad for this opportunity to better understand where my heart truly lies. All will be well, I'm sure, but we must be off, lest we miss our connecting flight. Yeah, you know, flight. So it's going to take us all the way to Thavnair, or is this going to... Where's this going to take us? Okay, the airship. Okay. Oh, and they're in the different clothes now. Right, because those are, the outfits they had on before are for more, cooler climates. Obviously, this is a more tropical climate, so they're gonna need to wear some, they're not gonna be wearing a wool. Not gonna be, I guess let's see, yeah, it would probably be wool. How I've missed the smell of spice, and this warmth, haha. We're back! We're truly back in Thavnair! Was Razed Han always this grand? Can't believe we lived so close yet so rarely made the trip. You remember how it was? Village duties always kept us all too busy to travel. Defending pilgrims was trying enough for the stewards, even before the final days. I wonder how many temple roads are still traversable. If even those in Radzid Han struggle to travel for worship, our feelings of estrangement may be more common than we think. Since we've come all this way, would you mind terribly if Asdod and I toured the city on our own? Let's plan to meet in Palakistan anon. Now, I wonder if they're actually, you can like find them in the city at this point. So right now it just says to go to Palakistan, but I'm going to run around just a tiny bit to see if I can find them. At least I'm just going to teleport each of the Aetherites and do a cursory look around. See if I see them somewhere. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to go out and head on over to Palakistan. Let's see, they're up here? Oh, there we go. There's destination. Wait, a convenient destination. There they are. Home at last. Yes, home. I can finally breathe again. Come, let's go and find the Elder. Elder, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Astad, Mehdjina, how wonderful it is to see you. I have been so worried. Tell me, how is life in Shardian? Are you being treated well? Oh yes, Elder. Our employer, Mistress Tataru, is the kindest businesswoman. In fact, she arranged for us to accompany Brilliant on her errand, so we might enjoy some time at home. That is very good of her, indeed. I'm relieved to hear you are being looked after. You are ever a guardian to our people. Thank you for seeing these children safely home, of course. Now then, what is this errand you speak of? Like, you want to buy some clothes? How splendid! Our stewards shall put these to good use, you may be assured. If only we could repay your generosity with something even half as marvelous. Alas, ours is a village of little extravagance. Everything seems as ever it was. Indeed, with the support of the Radiant Host and the funds you and others have sent, we have regained much of the peace we once knew. Thank the sisters. Still, there is something I wish to speak with you about, Elder. You are worried your heart grows distant from Thavner, that you have wandered too far from home. But my child, it is only right that you should wander, that you should roam. Your heart's connection endures, no matter where you go. You yet think of us fondly enough to visit, yes? And send us what gil you can spare, do you not? Gestures, perhaps, but not true commitment. Should I not be here with all of you, working to restore our village? There is no restoring our village, Asdod. Without those we lost, Palakistan will never be what it was. That's a good point. We must instead do all we can to become a new village, with a new future ahead of us. Although the particulars of our path are not yet clear to me. How so? Ours has always been a settlement of stewards, as will you know, tasked with the protection and preservation of Thavner's sacred sites. But we have seen our roads shaken and temples defiled by beasts. The material is not always within our ability to protect. What is everlasting is our faith, the bonds between our people and the divine. Through the old teachings, we remind ourselves of life's meaning. Interesting, okay. Yet, if we wish to ensure our traditions endure for generations to come, should we not strive to do more than maintain our temples until pilgrims deign to visit? Ah, but I do not wish to tire you with an old man's musings. Surely there are other ways of ensuring our people remain connected to their heritage and faith. All we need is the right idea, something new our village could offer. Well, well, my words seem to have inspired you, and with the worldly insights you have gained, I'm sure any future you envision for Palika's stand will be nothing short of remarkable. But there is no need to rush. Take your time to speak with the others and make yourselves at home. I guess it makes sense for us to have some Endwalker things. There wasn't any trial series in this one. Actually, no, wait, they weren't doing all trial series because they did the Alliance Raid series for the Heaven's Ward one. And they did the Four Lords, which is the trial series in Stormblood. And then they did the Shadow of Wurlit, which is the trial series for Shadowbringers. So it's just, they need to do something for Endwalker to do for the last quest. And this actually works out because we haven't really got... We helped Palika stand in some other quest lines, but not as directly... Not quite like this.